making a good call.
13 runs of 5 deliveries. Last ball coming off of Suckling. It's a hold in play since behind the side screen. They're taking their own cool time. Gentlemen, there's a game going in the middle. You can have your own fun and cheering your side. Slightly right to your screen, please.
They have their own momentum to break. They are dancing, having fun.
Why not? Why not? It's a DP World Men's Rising Stars Asia Cup. Everyone in their feet, having a great time in Doha, Qatar. Certainly this is where security can do a better job. Make sure when the bowler is running in, make sure there's no movement behind the arms. But the last thing what Pakistan Shaheen's need, changing the momentum and slowing it down. And he's still clapping.
Yeah, he's clapping for the ones who've gone across in time.
This time too, non-strike Aziz says no, and disappointed Masood. He's not happy. 18 overs gone, 116 for 6.
Forging the future. यहाँ बनेंगे कल के heroes. DP World Men's Under-19 Asia Cup शुरू हो रहा है Friday 12 दिसंबर से live Sony Sports Network और Sony Live पर. Watch New Zealand versus West Indies. First test, Tuesday 2nd December 3 a.m. Live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
The PCB president in the house supporting his side, Amul Islam Bulbul. All the VIPs, they're so happy. So are we. Tournament has been very well organized, everything under control, and we just want to finish with a bang in the finals. Good Yorker. Good Yorker. That's through the legs. A nutmeg.
Yeah, you fail to understand why he didn't run on the last ball of the previous over. Saad Masood is striking the ball really well, sighting it even better. And Shahid Aziz misses this one. Although it is a perfect ball into the block hole, Rippon has been on the money in this tournament.
That's much better. In doubt, Rippon Mondal is good when he's going nice and full. That's exactly what he did against India. I think he should continue the same. Close. Hemant Boteju puts his finger up. And oh, that was crashing to the middle stump. A big mistake by Aziz. It was good down the ground. Why play that risky shot? Should have gone down the ground in my opinion.
Another moment of brain freeze. This is not how you do it. There's a batsman batting well, really well on the other end. You have to bring him back on strike. Goes for an over-ambitious stroke. And the ball has hit him right in front of the middle stump. An easy decision for the umpire. As Shaheens lose Shahid Aziz for 9. And Shaheens move to 116 for 7.
Sir. मेरा मोटा माथा कहता है this is a case of murder.
आ रहे हैं बंगाल के वर्ल्ड फेमस जासूस AK बाबू कल से रात 10 बजे सोनी सब पर.
Bangladesh supporters on their feet. They are the happy when it comes to the duration of the game. Ahmed Daniel, the all-rounder, he can hit a long ball as well. But at the moment, his game plan should be just get a single, get the non-striker at the striker's end.
And in comes the chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board and also the chief of the ACC, conducting a wonderful tournament along with his team.
Good bouncer, very good bouncer. The umpire from square leg, he signals to Hemant Boteju that it's over the shoulder and over the head as well.
Yeah, clearly a high ball, the one to call. Rightly so called by the umpires, also will be given the one of the over, but this was brilliant. Once again, block hole, and doing it very efficiently is Rippon, getting wickets. When the pressure comes, he delivers.
Ahmed Daniel in the semi-final scored Useful contribution of 22 of 8 deliveries with 3 sixes. That's how dangerous he can be. Is it close? Is it close? Or probably outside the line. What an over, the last one from Ripon Mondal. 3 wickets and just 2 runs. Certainly broke the momentum what Pakistan Shahis was building in the 16th over, 17th over and the 18th over. It looks like it's going to be Saklain to finish off the innings for Bangladesh. Slow ball. Running the first one hard. Quite happy, Daniel. Yeah, pick up the single and trusting in Mukim to bat out the next 5 deliveries or even take a single.
Yeah, Mukim batted well. One of his little innings coming against India in the Senior Men's Asia Cup, where he struck Bumrah for a couple of boundaries, so he must have some confidence with the bat. And Daniel getting 22 of 8 deliveries in the last game. That cameo was very important.
That's the reason why I was a little surprised that Daniel opted for it. 3 massive sixes. That was the game changer, in my opinion, in the last few overs when they beat Sri Lanka in the semi-finals by 5 runs. Changing his angle, coming round wicket to the left-hander. Oh, slow delivery, clipped a little bit. Let go by Sufyan Mukim.
And there is no communication. On a ball that is beaten, he could have changed ends. And look at Rippon bowling those wonderful Yorkers and doing that accurately, picking up wickets. He has been one of the finds of this Rising Stars Asia Cup.
This is the president in the house, Mr. Mohsin Naqvi. Be a happy man with all the seedings which has happened in the Rising Stars Asia Cup. Good bouncer, very good bouncer. Early, I thought, did well to get a hand to it and deny the 4 byes, but certainly Saklain had some gas in the delivery.
Well, yes, he just bent his back on this one and he got the ball flying. Saad Masood, after playing a fighting hand of 38 back in the pavilion. This is why you also have to be very present in the situation. He was denied a single by Shahid Aziz in the previous over, the last delivery, and then from there onwards wickets just started to fall.
Shahid Aziz, can he use those powerful arms to pump it over long on a mid-wicket? Good delivery again. Running the first one hard. Should be just settling for a single, and very good fielding at deep mid-wicket.
You wonder why Daniel is running for everything. He is somebody who can hit big. So why keep bringing Sufyan Mukim on strike? Once again, lack of awareness, lack of communication clearly showing. And you can hit big ball. Why do you want to have the other man face the music?
Ran the first one hard and hope that he can come back to the second. But absolutely no chance for the second. Almost landed on the helmet. Or did he land on the helmet? Or just brushed aside. Physio is out there. Concussion protocol, I think, is being done. Not taking any chances, the umpires, which I don't think they should take any chances. These are wickets.
This is how it all started for Bangladesh and for Pakistan on the other side. Bowling wonderful, fielding wonderfully, bowling, attacking the stumps and hitting them on most occasions. What Bangladesh bowlers did. Another one off the inside edge. Masadak with the big wicket in this game. And this one did stay low, the slower one.
Yeah, fine leg in the circle, clears him pretty easily and goes for a boundary. Thought the choice of delivery from Saklain when you have fine leg in the circle is not the right one.
As far as Shaheens are concerned, awkward but effective. They get 4 out of this and they will be pleased with this. Yeah, Mukim not looking at the impact, keeping his eyes off. Very awkward for him, but good for Pakistan, getting them 4 valuable runs.
I thought Saklain was trying to bowl the slow ball bouncer, but somehow it's skidded to the batsman. Mukim just helped you on his way. Here comes the last ball. Slower delivery again, and it's a run out. Ahmed Daniel doing the right thing, trying to steal a single. Akbar Ali had the presence of mind, cool under pressure, and bullseye it goes. And certainly at the end of the 20th over, Shaheens are all out for 125. I reckon going into the break, Bangladesh will be the happier side.
Has to be, there is no other way around it. They would have taken this any time, even before the toss. 125 all out is Pakistan Shaheen's courtesy. Brilliant bowling from Bangladesh bowlers. Great execution of the plans that they had. Spinners bowled accurately, so did the faster men. And in the end, Rippon was just outstanding with his block hole stuff. And each time hitting the stumps and giving nothing away to the batters. And so good was Saklan on the other end, picking up wickets and keeping it all very quiet and taking the momentum back to Bangladesh after those two good overs, the 17th and the 18th.
12 boundaries, 4 sixers in the 20 overs. That's tough. That's how tough batting was. Pakistan Shaheen's after being put into bat. Yasir, Faik, they all missed out, as well as Ghazi Gori got a promotion. Arafat looked good for his 25 but could not kick on. Irfan, the skipper, gone for 9. Aziz, Dania Lubaid set again, failed as well. But Masood was excellent, 38 of 26. Man of the match from the semi-final. He kept up his good work.
Partnerships, well, nothing great to mention. The openers are not troubling the scorers. Faik and Sadakat just 2. Ghazi and Sadakat 23. Arafat, Sadakat 24. 15 between Irfan and Masood. And 11 between Irfan, Masood and Aziz. 41 is the biggest partnership of the innings.
Rippon, Mondal pick up the bowlers. 3 for 25, as well as the spinners bowl really well. Right, let's head down to pitch side and join Mazharuddin Omi.
Ali, when you come back, Ali, ये graphics को भेज रहा है.
3 for 25 from his 4 overs. I've got Rippon Mondal alongside me. Rippon, must be delighted the way you guys bowl so far.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, the way we are bowling, so it's amazing. So inshallah, hope our batsmen can bat better. Inshallah, we win the match.
I have to ask this one. Tell us more about your Yorkers. How did you master that?
Now, Alhamdulillah, I'm lots of practicing in like HP camp. So when I bowling in nets, after finish my nets, I always bowl 2-3 overs in block hole.
You are now the leading wicket taker of the tournament with 11 wickets. Did you know about it, and what was the preparation before coming on to the tournament?
Now when I come here, my first preparation is like I'm a highest wicket taker. So if it's my first goal, and Alhamdulillah, Allah give us.
Tell us more about the chase. What should be the team talk in the dressing room? Are you confident?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Everyone is very positive and everyone is very helpful. So everyone support me. So I am very positive.
Well bowled and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Rippon Mondal, certainly a rising star. 11 wickets in the competition. Not that far. Rakibul Hasan, Sufyan Mukim, Trevin Matthews, Saad Masood. The next generation have been very impressive. Right, when the Bangladesh A side, when they come out to bat, they're going to score 126 in the allotted 20 overs. Not going to be easy on a pitch, just holding on. But the batting has not been easy for Pakistan Shaheen's. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be building up to the run chase.
Forging the future. यहाँ बनेंगे कल के heroes. DP World Men's Under-19 Asia Cup शुरू हो रहा है फ्राइडे 12 दिसंबर से लाइव सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और सोनी लिव पर.
मेरा मोटा माथा कहता है दिस इज अ केस ऑफ मर्डर.
आ रहे हैं बंगाल के वर्ल्ड फेमस जासूस एकेन बाबू. कल से रात 10 बजे सोनी सब पर.
Watch UEFA
Champions League. Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Thursday, 27th November, 1:30 a.m. Live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
देखिए जॉन सीना को आखिरी बार रविवार 14 दिसंबर लाइव सुबह 6:30 बजे और रिपीट रात 8 बजे सिर्फ सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और सोनी लिव पर।
Let these guys have it now.
Who do you want face your last match? 2025 will be my last.
And you want some? Come get some.
Oh yes! A moment of magic.
Sobozlai! Vaibhav Suryavanshi special right in front of you.
Second 100 of just 32 balls.
Kadak. Bilkul kadak.
It's the grand final of the DP World Asia Cup Rising Stars 2025 between Bangladesh A versus Pakistan Shaheens. Bangladesh A skipper Akbar Ali won the toss, invited Pakistan Shaheens to bat. They got up to a dreadful start with Yasir being run out of the very first ball. Faik, the second delivery of his, Ghazi missed out as well. And Irfan, the skipper, Sadakat, Arafat, Masood contributed to get Pakistan Shaheens to 125. Saad Masood, he continues good form. Excellent with the bat, excellent with the ball yesterday. Lusty hits, 3 sixes, 3 boundaries. Quality stroke. Quality stroke, that was quite steep, but he's definitely take it. And not only with his bat, I think with his bowling as well, he'll be an important figure in this side. Report Mondal, as he has done right throughout the league, he has been impressive, 3 for 25. Merob, Rakibul, the two spinners bowled out, as well as Saklain. Altogether, very good effort by Bangladesh to restrict Pakistan Shaheens for 125. The target will be even a fight by the Pakistan Shaheens, who has an excellent bowling lineup of spinners as well as fast bowlers. Akbar Ali led Bangladesh. They got to make 126 in the allotted 20 overs at 6.3 runs per over.
Bangladesh captain would be pretty happy with what has happened so far. Won the toss, decided to field first, and his bowlers and the fielders obliged. Habibur Rahman saw on 33rd match for him, 450s, 100, strike rate of 160. And Jishan Alam, both capable batters. 27th match for him, strike rate of 139, 100 to his name, 250s alongside that 100. I've got Mazza with me. Mazza, sitting pretty, Bangladesh.
Yeah, the job is only half done so far for Bangladesh A. Now, another half about to start, and Bangladesh need to start well. They need 126 runs to win. They need that calm approach in the middle. Ubaid has got the ball in his hand. First ball of the innings. Good start from Ubaid. Seen Habibur Rahman Sohan being the leading run scorer for Bangladesh. He's also the third highest run scorer in the tournament. And he's someone who loves to play his shots.
Just has to think that he has to play 20 overs. This is exactly what the Bangladesh batters have to think. Got 100 not out of 35 deliveries against Hong Kong, China, then 10, then 27, then scored a 65. A sensible one in 46 deliveries against India. He's got a job on hand tonight.
The way he bats, Mahinda, even if he bats till the 10th over, he can do the job for Bangladesh. That will be wide, confirmation. But for Shaheens, they need to pick up early wickets.
It's very important when they've just set the target of 126. You need to get wickets up front. But they've got a good bowling lineup. They've got 4 spinners in their lineup.
Dignitaries serving the final here. In 2 outstanding semi-finals, and now the final is all set. A blockbuster finish. And I'm sure the organizers will surely be happy the way the tournament went so far. Gives it a charge. Habibur Rahman Chauhan gets off the mark with a 6. That's how he plays.
He sends a message to the Pakistan captain, to Ubaid, that I'm going to play the way I know. This is very important. You need to know your strengths. Bats aggressively, but this aggression will have to be a controlled one because you're not chasing a big target. That was asking to be hit.
And also his strong zone, Habibur Rahman Chauhan loves to swing his bat. It's there to be hit as well. Good pace. Just swings it nicely. Good delivery, driven straight to the fielder. Good comeback from Ubaid, taking the pace off the ball. Talking about hitting sixes, Habibur Rahman Chauhan like to hit those. 20 so far. Vaibhav Suryavanshi right at the top with 22 sixes. Obviously, Mas Sadakat scored 19 of those, but Chauhan has got a chance to overtake Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Yeah, and if he goes past Vaibhav Suryavanshi, goes for a big one, well bowled, bowling it up, trying to move it away. Yeah, if he goes past Vaibhav Suryavanshi, that means he would have given his team a goal.
That was a cracking shot from Chauhan. Confident man, scored 100, scored a good 60-odd run knock as well. Led from the front. And that consistency is very important aspect from Bangladesh batting's point of view. Got away on the onside. Banged in delivery by Ubaid. That brings Jishan Alam on strike. He's also someone who loves to play his shots. Dropped a couple of catches. Might redeem himself with the bat.
I was surprised when he dropped those catches. He dropped one today. He dropped one in the semi-final. He dropped one before that as well. And he's a good fielder. He's taken some blinders as well. 20, 10, 17, 26. He's got the starts, but didn't convert them into big ones. Today's the time.
Good delivery. He wanted to take that run. Direct hit, but I think Chauhan is well in. Umpires, however, will go upstairs.
Yeah, I've noticed that the umpires don't take a chance, especially with the direct hits. Because so many times we've seen these direct hits, they touch and go. He wants to be sure. It's the finals. They don't want to make a mistake here.
Bat dragged, well in. Habibur Rahman Chauhan doing the basics right. Rahul Asher, the TV umpire. ED decisions for him. Confirmation not out. So yeah, it's a good start for Bangladesh. After first over, they're 8 without loss. Hyde Aziz comes in. Back of a length delivery. Came up with a positive frame of mind, Habibur Rahman Sohan, but at the same time, he's trying to play according to the merit of the ball.
And according to the situation as well. Doesn't have to go after everything. 37 wickets for Shahid Aziz. Economy on the higher side. 4 for 20 is best.
Down the leg. Lucky on that occasion. Wide given, but still there was fine leg inside the circle. Habibu just needed a tickle.
They must be thinking I've missed it. This is the last ball of the previous over. This is the kind of panic we saw when Pakistan team was batting.
Must be enjoying the proceedings in the middle. Short ball, pulled away, over mid-on's head. Champions don't crumble under lights, they glow.
Woohoo! And look at this Bangladesh crowd, the supporters. They should be happy. Bangladesh have been on top of their game so far. This was too short for Sohan. He loves them, especially when he gets time. Aziz tried to bowl that slow one. Looks in some kind of pressure, the bowler. Got to bowl it up to him.
Huge shot, huge shot. Maybe an inside edge one in the, or perhaps going down the leg side.
Maybe both. Mahmood Khan, the umpire, unmoved. Pakistan A boys trying to put pressure on the umpire. Going down the leg. That's a good decision. Yes, sir. Umpire says, I'm not going to come under pressure.
In terms of run rate in the power plays, Bangladesh are right behind India. 9.83. So they loves hitting in the power plays. Another slow delivery. Well disguised one, but nicely played as well by Sohan.
You know that run rate that you were talking about in the first 6 overs, if they get that run rate today, they will be close to 60 in the first 6 overs. And what are they chasing? 126. There it is. 9.83, almost 10 and over.
These two batters have provided the platform for Bangladesh throughout the tournament. We mentioned about Sohan, but don't forget the contributions of Jishan Alam. Those 20s were very crucial. Shot outside off. He's looking to open up his account. Jishan Alam, I can feel it. He dropped a couple of catches now. He wants that thing to go out of his head.
That's one pressure a batter always has. Whenever I had an opportunity of talking to Sunil Gavaskar, he always used to say that batter wants to have a single as soon as possible, wants to have runs on board as soon as possible. That is exactly what Jishan needs to do.
Full, wide and given. Pressure started to build already in the Shaheen's camp. They're desperate to break this partnership. Arafat Minhas, that shot was not on. But he will take it. Picked up his second. Pakistan, Shaheen are flying. Departs without troubling the scorers. Bangladesh A, 36 for 3.
ले लो, हेल्दी है।
हेल्दी? नमक तो नमक होता है।
नमक नमक में फर्क होता है।
कैसा फर्क?
प्यूरो में है 1 नहीं 84 कुदरती मिनरल्स आयोडीन के साथ, प्लस केमिकल फ्री 100% नेचुरल।
समझी।
प्यूरो हेल्दी सॉल्ट, नमक नमक में फर्क होता है।
कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स।
जवार की अच्छाई अब चटपटे पफ्स में आई। नया कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स, इससे अच्छा क्या होगा?
What a game we are having. From the spectators' point of view, they are enjoying every bit of it. So do they. In a wonderful tournament so far, as Akbar Ali, the skipper, comes in. Oh, what a ball! What a delivery! How did that miss the stump?
That was a beauty. Spinner's delight. Ball coming into the batter in the air. Oh, so close, so close. Till so far.
Akbar Ali gets off the mark. Bangladesh need calmness. Shaheen's need wicket.
This is one thing they don't need to do. This is panic written all over it. He's trying to show the bat to the umpire. There was no bat to it. Arakiri.
That was a poor shot selection as well from Maidul Islam Ongkon, especially against someone like Arafat Minhas. Bowls a bit quicker compared to the other spinners. What a spell he's having. Yasir Ali on strike. E2 gets off the mark. Might get a couple. Goes for it. There are two experienced players in the middle for Bangladesh A. Need to make sure to keep things calm.
Yes, that is the need of the hour. 94 not out, his best strike rate of 130. It doesn't matter. In this game, just has to stay there. More than 2,500 runs. And captain Akbar Ali, 82 games, 1,100 runs.
Quick single taken. Nonetheless, end of another very good over from Arafat Minhas. After 5, Bangladesh A, 40 for 3.
कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स।
जवार की अच्छाई अब चटपटे पफ्स में आई। नया कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स, इससे अच्छा क्या होगा?
सर 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 मेरा मोटा माथा कहता है दिस इज अ केस ऑफ मर्डर मर्डर।
आ रहे हैं बंगाल के वर्ल्ड फेमस जासूस एकेन बाबू, कल से रात 10 बजे सोनी सब पर।
Plays 40 for 3. Thirdly, Bangladesh after a very good start have pressed the panic button here. Some unnecessary stroke as well in Maidul Islam. Here comes the man of the tournament so far, for my opinion. Mas Sadakat missed out with the bat. Very handy with the ball. Did not bowl in the previous game in the semi-final. He comes in the attack, bowled the last over in the power play. The toss. He clips it away for a single towards mid-wicket.
Yeah, well, for Shaheens, it has been the magic turn, masterful mystery. And from 22, they lost their first. Into 36, they have already lost 3. Or in between 14 runs, they have lost 3 wickets. Some panic down in the middle, as you said it, Maha.
Need some calm heads, Bangladesh. Hopefully they'll find it in Akbar Ali's presence. But on the other hand, Pakistan shines. They are giving a good fight in the middle. The 3 wickets to fall, first one with David. Got a good one. Plum in front. That was short. Got to be put away. Not a good stroke. Aidul Islam is a very good player. Just made his ODI debut a few months ago. Under pressure in the power play, he missed out and played a rash shot. Habibur Rahman gave the emphasis up front. He opening the batting, some lusty hitting, but he just could not kick on. Right on the money, Sadaka.
Yeah, well, that over went for 14 runs, remember, from Chaudhry Saad Masood. And it was there to be hit. And went for the shot, but that delivery gave him the wicket. Can you believe it?
Sadaka is taking the pace off. I think the spinners who have been successful are the ones bowling wicket taking the pace off. Arafat Minas 2 overs, 2 for 5, brilliant. Masood was taken for runs. I think in the middle overs he'll be key, the leg spinner. Yet to bowl is a match winner from the last game, Sufyan Mukim. Yet to come. I think that will be the trump card for Irfan.
From Arafat Minhas, it has been pristine precision. Before this, it had 1 for 9 against UAE, and what a day to bring you best performance. Looking at this tournament, 5 times defended, 8 times chased.
Good start by Sadaka, just as 3 runs from the over, end of the power play, 43 for 3.
सुन सब नया है अलग है मस्त है कौन सा है परफ्यूम ओह फॉग न्यू अच्छा है फॉग न्यू का परफ्यूम अलग है नया है अच्छा है
कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स
जवार की अच्छाई अब चटपटे पफ्स में आई नया कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स इससे अच्छा क्या होगा
3 runs among the two sides. Exact number of wickets, 3 wickets in the power play. It's been a struggle for the batters. Almost a full house, the VIPs having a good time, the spectators around really good with plenty of noises. And here comes Sufyan Mukim, left arm wrist spinner, a champion on his day. 45 wickets, an economy under 7 runs in a T20 game. It's very impressive. As Hemant Buteju signals is the end of the power play. Irfan Khan has the opportunity to have 5 fielders outside circle. And straight away he has gone for that option. On the leg side. Whipped away for a single by Yasir.
Yeah, you mentioned Sufyan Mukim. He has 7 wickets in this DP World Asia Cup Rising Star 2025. On 2 occasions had 3 for 12, 3 for 12 against UAE and against Sri Lanka A. And it's the big stage, the final.
In the semi-final, he changed the game on its head, didn't he? Only the Fernando, Vishen Halabage, Ramesh Mendes, the 3 wickets in the middle overs. Something that I've certainly picked up from Sufyan Mukim ever since I saw him a couple of years ago. Pace has improved off the pitch also from the show, from the hand.
Yeah, you're right. From over number 4 all the way to over number 14. This is his bowling 3 for 12 against Sri Lanka. He was unplayable and he just provided those very timely breakthrough and put Sri Lanka A on the back foot. And from 45, the scores were 8 for 99 between the 2 spinners. They took 6 wickets. Saad Masood and Sufyan Mukim.
Mahmood Khan wants to go upstairs and check with Rahul Bashar. Beautifully bowled, wrong one by Sufyan Mukim. Right length, right line, right pace. Turn and bounce. I don't think, looking at how the Pakistan Shines are not over-celebrating, just not too sure. Body language is not that promising when it comes to Pakistan Shine supporters. Zain Akbar Ali, and I think he drags back. He's fine. He's fine. No chances taken by Mahmood Khan. Want to double check with Rahul Bashar.
Yeah, well, a lot of times the body language from the players tell you, as you rightly indicated, Maha. And from here, it looks all set. Akbar Ali this time around coming down to bat at number 5 on the previous occasions. Yeah. It's not out. It was a slight celebration. A bit of a problem with the screen there. It is not out.
The right decision is not out. Anything can happen when it comes to the finals. And certainly, the third umpire got to take a deep breath and make sure he's also relaxed. Yeah, we can feel the pressure everywhere. And in the end, in a matter of couple of seconds, the right decision was pressed. It's not out. We live another day to go move on. For a second, Pakistan shines, so they're celebrating. Their celebrations were short-lived.
He's just playing with their emotions, isn't it? You see that celebration, and then all of a sudden, no, that is not out.
Third umpire right throughout the tournament have been in the hot seat, haven't they? Oh, brilliant. Here comes Sufyan. On the leg side. Pitching outside the leg stump, that's for sure. And also, I think it did touch Akbar Ali's pad.
Well, you talked about Sufyan Muqeem into the attack, and he's already put a lot of pressure on the Bangladesh. I don't know what the appeal has been made for. Probably just trying to distract the umpire not to give it wide, but I believe it has touched the pads.
On the leg side again. Sufyan Muqeem got to be a little careful with the line he's bowling. Couple of deliveries, or 3 deliveries before, it was beautifully bowled just outside the yaw stump, turning away from the right-hander. And the next 2 deliveries, it's a more conventional wrist spin, but the line for me is a little too straight. That's better, and clean bowled. Akbar Ali trying to play through mid-wicket off the back foot. He's been castled by Sufyan.
Yeah, well, that certainly kept low. The pressure was felt 4 dots before that, playing into the mind of the skipper, Akbar Ali, who chops it back onto the stumps. Just look at that. Sufyan, Habibur Rahman frustrated, the Bangladeshi frustrated. Sufyan Muqeem enjoys that. And celebrations for him into his first over, and gets the first wicket to his name. Akbar Ali 2, and Bangladesh are struggling 44 for 4.
ले लो, हेल्दी है।
हेल्दी? नमक तो नमक होता है।
नमक में फर्क होता है।
कैसा फर्क?
प्यूरो में है 1 नहीं 84 कुदरती मिनरल्स आयोडीन के साथ, प्लस केमिकल फ्री 100% नेचुरल।
समझी।
प्यूरो हेल्दी सॉल्ट। नमक में फर्क होता है।
कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स।
जवार की अच्छाई अब चटपटे पफ्स में आई। नया कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स, इससे अच्छा क्या होगा?
Habibur got out 3 overs ago, and ever since then, just 8 runs, 2 wickets, 11 dot deliveries. Certainly, Pakistan putting in the shoes. In at number 6 is Mehrab Hossain, the left-hander. He'll be at the non-strikers end. Mas Sadakat continues to his second over. A little too straight towards Yasir Ali. I think his game plan is to work those singles, remain at one end. Sufyan Muqeem, he just can't stop taking wickets. 3 wickets in the middle overs, 4 overs, 12 for 3. And here comes a new batter.
Yeah, Mehrab out in the middle. Strike rate of 111, with the best of 48 unbeaten. And he will have to stay there till the end.
He's up the mark straight away with a single. He bowled well, 4 overs, 28 for 1, Mehrab. Sufyan Muqeem got through Akbar Ali's defences.
Yeah, well, crafty curves causing the chaos and taking the wickets. Bangladesh on the back foot.
Nicely done. That's a beautiful length by Mas Sadakat. Right pace, bowling wicket to wicket. This pitch demands spinners to bowl wicket to wicket. Another look of Akbar Ali. Inside edge. straight to the off stump.
Now, well, this is the game. If Bangladesh A have to win this big final, they will have to go through the spinners of the Shaheens. So far, it hasn't been easy going. The spinner's been among the wicket, all 4 wickets to the spinners. And all of them have been in some form. Sufyan Muqim, 1 for 1. Masood, 1 for 14.
In the semi-final, the spinners in the mid-low is the ones made all the chaos. Masood, the leg spinner, Sufyan Muqim, all wicket to wicket, almost unplayable until Milan Ratnaik special. But Minnas today has started really well, 2 overs, 2 for 5. Concerned look, David Hemp, the head coach of Bangladesh, he knows he needs a partnership among these 2 players. In the air and straight to extra cover. Irfan Khan Niazi, one of the safest fielders going around the entire tournament, straight at him and he gobbles it.
Well, among 4 spinners, it was only Mas Sadakat who was without a wicket, and he too has been given a wicket. Wanted to use the aggressive route, wanted to come down the track, take him on, and in the process just gives away an easy catch. Pakistan fans are celebrating it, and why not? Half the side has been back in the dugout. Look at that, using the feet, not to the pitch of the ball. And Irfan Khan Niazi, you can't go past him. Mas Sadakat among the wickets as well. The spinners are having a wonderful time out in the middle for Shaheens. And Yasir Ali makes 8 runs of 10. Bangladesh A of 48 for 5.
राजू भाई क्या चल रहा है? राजू भाई कुछ नया लो यार.
नया?
नया है, फ्रेश है. कौन सा है?
फॉग न्यू.
अच्छा है. फॉग न्यू का परफ्यूम अलग है, नया है, अच्छा है.
कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स.
जवार की अच्छाई अब चटपटे पफ्स में आई. नया कुरकुरे जवार पफ्स, इससे अच्छा क्या होगा?
From the front, bringing in the changes. Already in the 8th over, 6 bowlers been used by Pakistan Shaheen skipper Irfan Khan Niazi. In comes at number 7 for Bangladesh, Mahfuz Rahman. Much experience, but certainly has a high score of 82 not out, and he can bat. Left arm spinner, an all-rounder. Close. Probably a bit too much turn. Good backing up at deep extra cover. Certainly, it looked close, but probably the bounce, or maybe a little too much turn.
Yeah, well, that's the wicket. Last ball of Sadakat's over, and good catch taken. A bit unnecessary, and Yasir Ali looks frustrated.
I got to question the shot making of 2 of the senior players of Bangladesh. First, Ankon, I thought that was a reckless stroke, and even Yasir Ali. Net required rate is well under control, so why would you take a risk when Mas Sadakat is bowling so well? Is it out? Is it out? Hemant Boteju says no. That was the wrong one. Even the bowler, wicket keeper, everyone in the 30-yard circle was celebrating. They are busy celebrating, whereas Hemant Boteju, he said not out.
Well, the height is what the umpire thinks has saved him. Indicated that this was a little high and this is missing leg wicket. And just let's have a look at that. This was the wrong one.
Ooh, close. I've seen in previous game those are being given. A 50-50 call maybe. Hemant Boteju giving the benefit of the doubt to the batsman. Shot.
No one in the compound knew who she really was. Not the young Marines stacking crates near the gate. Not the contractors who only saw her smiling politely while she ladled hot chow onto their trays. And definitely not the enemy fighter. The storm that night was merciless. Rain lashed against the deck, wind screaming through the rigging, and the sea churned with a fury that seemed almost alive. Somewhere below the dark, rolling waves, they were waiting for her. They had no idea that the marine they had captured, the one they assumed fragile, ordinary, replaceable, was anything but. She had been chained to the anchor, the cold metal biting into her wrists, and now the crewmen were ready to drop it. The camera would follow her trembling arms as she swung slightly above the water. The chains rattling with every gust, the anchor looming like death itself. Then, with a brutal, almost ceremonial push, they let her fall. The ocean swallowed her instantly, and silence descended over the deck, broken only by the wild, panicked roar of the storm. Like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more stories. The moment she hit the water, everything changed. Cold wrapped around her like iron, but it didn't stop her. The chains felt heavier now, each link a calculated attempt to break her resolve. But deep down, she knew something they didn't. Something they could never imagine. Marines are trained for extreme conditions. Yes, but what they hadn't counted on was how far she had pushed herself in secret. How many nights she had trained alone, holding her breath until her vision blurred, until her lungs screamed for air. The camera would pan under the waves, showing the dim outline of her body descending, bubbles rising like tiny, desperate ghosts. Her mind screamed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Panic wanted to take over, but discipliner, hard-earned, almost obsessive discipline, kept her steady. She flexed her fingers against the chains, testing for weaknesses, feeling for slack, finding rhythm in the struggle. She knew she had seconds, maybe less, before the chains pulled her beyond her limits. Every fiber of her being screamed survival, and she responded with a calm ferocity honed over years of grueling marine training. The anchor was no longer just a threat. It was a weight she could turn to her advantage. The first moments underwater were disorienting. Darkness pressed against her eyes, currents tugging at her limbs like invisible hands. Every instinct screamed to fight upward, to scream, to panic, but she didn't. She had trained for this. Breathing under pressure, thinking under duress, moving even when trapped. These weren't just drills. They were survival. Her head tilted slightly, her eyes adjusting to the murky light, scanned the water for a possible escape route. The camera would capture this subtle movement, the tension in her jaw, the determined set of her shoulders. Even chained, even in near certain death, she was calculating. Then she felt it, a minute shift in the chain's locking mechanism. Almost imperceptible, a flaw that most would have overlooked. Her fingers, numb but precise, worked quickly, muscles moving with trained instinct. The anchor tugged, the chains groaning, the water thrashing violently around her, and yet she found the rhythm. She inched her body upward, legs kicking, arms straining, all the while keeping her heart steady. And somewhere, deep in the abyss of the storm-driven sea, she smiled just slightly. They had underestimated her. They had assumed fear would drown her first. They had assumed they had all the power. They were wrong. The first part of her plan was simple, but impossible. She had to survive the fall, control her panic, and manipulate the chains before they dragged her into the endless darkness. Every second counted, and the storm, which should have been an enemy, became an accomplice. Its fury masked her movements, blurred her form from prying eyes, and gave her the cover she needed to act. As she kicked upward, the anchor threatening to pull her down with every motion, her mind raced with contingency after contingency. She could feel the salty sting of seawater in her lungs, the biting cold in her muscles, but nothing could break her focus. And just when it seemed the weight of the world door the sea would claim her, she discovered the one thing they had never considered. Marines breathe under pressure, and in her hands, training became weapon, and the chains that bound her could become the very thing that freed her. The ocean closed around her like a living, merciless cage. Darkness pressed in from all sides. The storm above reduced to muffled thunder beneath the waves. The anchor dragged her down, chains rattling with every desperate kick, but she refused to panic. Each exhale was calculated, each movement precise. Her training kicked in automatically, the slow, methodical control of her diaphragm, the unwavering focus on oxygen efficiency. Most people would have drowned by now. Most people would have screamed for help, thrashing blindly against the unyielding weight. But she wasn't most people. She was a Marine, and Marines don't just survive, they adapt, they improvise, they overcome. The camera would have followed her through the murky blue, capturing the stark contrast of human determination against the overwhelming power of the sea. Her fingers tested the chain links again, searching for the weak points she had sensed moments ago. Every heartbeat felt amplified, echoing in her ears, and yet her mind remained a calm, ruthless instrument. She imagined the faces of those who had chained her, thought of the smug confidence in their eyes, and let it fuel her resolve. They believed the chains and the anchor would be enough to end her life. They had no idea that she had trained for exactly this scenario. With a twisting motion, she maneuvered her body to relieve pressure on the chains. The anchor pulled, but she allowed it to slide slightly, using its weight to leverage herself in a slow, torturous ballet of survival. Salty water stung her eyes, her hair whipped against her face, but she didn't flinch. She had memorized every second of combat training that involved holding her breath, every moment spent in underwater drills, every painful lesson in lung capacity. In her mind, she ran through them like a checklist. Each tiny movement deliberate, each calculated kick bringing her closer to freedom. A sudden tug jolted her downward unexpectedly, and for a moment fear gripped her, but she swallowed it, replacing it with controlled determination. She could hear her own heartbeat, the rhythm of survival echoing in her chest, and she reminded herself she wasn't just fighting to escape. She was fighting to prove that even in impossible circumstances, a Marine never gives in. The chains scraped against her skin, raw and unrelenting, but she adjusted her angles, rotating her body to use the anchor's momentum against itself. Every motion brought her closer to control, closer to exploiting the flaw in the locking mechanism she had found. Then, just when it seemed the anchor would drag her into the abyss, she felt the subtle give she had been waiting for. Her fingers worked with meticulous precision, nudging, twisting, leveraging, exploiting. The metal groaned an almost audible protest in the water, but she forced herself to remain calm. Panic would kill her faster than the storm, and she refused to let it. In those moments, time seemed to stretch, the world reduced to the chains, the anchor, and the cold ocean pressing from all sides. Her lungs screamed for air, but she silenced them with mental commands, recalling every drill, every underwater exercise she had endured. She was a Marine, and Marines don't just survive, they master even the most brutal elements. Finally, with a controlled twist and a powerful kick upward, she felt the chain loosen enough to free her wrist. One hand, one wrist. That was all she needed. The anchor lurched downward with her new leverage, creating a violent counterbalance, and she used it to swing herself into a position where she could work on the second chain link. The water churned around her, bubbles rising like tiny witnesses to her struggle. And in that moment, she realized something almost cinematic. Her captors had completely misjudged her. They had thought fear would do the work. They had thought the ocean would claim her. But fear wasn't in her vocabulary. The camera would capture her determined eyes, the clenched jaw, the raw, almost painful intensity of a Marine refusing to surrender. Then a shadow passed above her, one of the captors peering into the water, expecting lifeless submission. She didn't panic. She kicked, twisted, and finally, with one last desperate effort, freed herself completely from the chains. The anchor lurched violently and sank into the abyss below, a grim marker of the trap that had failed. And in that moment, the first glimpse of air above the water became a beacon. A promise that survival wasn't just possible, it was inevitable. But the storm was far from over, and freedom was still a few torturous meters away. She had escaped the chains, but the fight to reach the surface, to live, had only just begun. The surface was still a distant promise, a silver line shimmering through the chaos of rain and waves. Every muscle in her body screamed exhaustion, but surrender was not an option. Her lungs burned, yet her mind remained razor-sharp, a cold, precise instrument honed by years of Marine discipline. She kicked with everything she had, feeling the storm's fury tugging at her every movement, threatening to drag her back into the dark abyss. And then, as if the universe paused to acknowledge her willpower, she broke through. Air tore into her lungs, sharp and intoxicating. She gasped, water dripping from her hair, salt stinging her eyes. And for the first time since she'd been chained to the anchor, she felt the raw, unfiltered surge of hope. The camera would follow her from below, capturing her silhouette as she erupted from the waves like a force that refused to be contained. Around her, the storm raged, but it no longer felt like an enemy. Instead, it was a cloak, masking her movements, shielding her from the captors who leaned over the edge of the deck above, their mouths open in shock. They had expected nothing. They had expected the ocean to claim her, to end her life quietly, efficiently, and yet there she was, dripping, defiant, the very embodiment of everything they had underestimated. Her eyes scanned the deck. The men above were scrambling, shouting, confused, uncoordinated. Fear had replaced their arrogance. For a moment, she allowed herself the smallest flicker of satisfaction, knowing they had no idea what she was capable of. Every Marine learns that survival isn't about brute strength. It's about control, strategy, and patience. She had all three in abundance, and now she had the advantage. She hoisted herself onto a floating piece of wreckage, muscles trembling, chains gone, anchor lost, and assessed her next move. Her training had not prepared her for negotiation, had prepared her for dominance, and she intended to use it. The captors began lowering ropes, one of them leaning too far over the deck. That's when she made her move. With precise timing, she dove, using the water's concealment to propel herself toward the nearest man. The splash barely registered, but the sudden impact sent him reeling backward. The camera would pan close, capturing the shock in his eyes. The loss of confidence in the presence of a woman they had presumed powerless. The others froze, the reality settling in. They were facing a Marine who had survived the impossible, who had turned the ocean, the anchor, and their arrogance against them. She struck again, this time targeting the second man who had tried to grab a weapon. Her movements were calculated, trained, and fluid, a deadly dance born of years of rigorous Marine exercises, combined with sheer instinct. Within moments, the tide of control had shifted. Panic replaced bravado, chains, anchors, storms none. Of it had stopped her, and now her enemies were faltering. She moved with purpose, not cruelty, but with the undeniable certainty of someone who had faced death and emerged victorious. The camera captured the chaos above water, the frantic motions of her captors, juxtaposed with her calm, precise strikes, her determination etched into every line of her soaked, powerful body. Then came the moment of confrontation. The leader, the one who had orchestrated her chaining, stared at her with disbelief, shouting orders that were drowned out by the storm. She didn't flinch, her eyes locked onto his, unyielding, and she raised a hand, signaling that further resistance was futile. Every inch of her body radiated confidence, resilience, and absolute control. They had underestimated her. They had thought fear would finish the job. But Marines don't just breathe underwater, they adapt, they overcome, and they exact justice on those who dare to misjudge them. The storm was still raging, but now it felt like an ally. The captors beaten not by brute force alone, but by the embodiment of discipline, courage, and unwavering resolve, backed away. And for a moment the sea and the sky seemed to acknowledge her victory, as if the universe itself had borne witness to the emergence of a force that refused to be chained, refused to be drowned, and refused to be broken. But freedom was not complete yet. The final test, the path back to safety, the reckoning with those who had tried to end her, still awaited, and she knew that every step above water, every movement towards survival, would demand everything she had left. The storm was relentless. But she was no longer fighting just the waves. It was the culmination of everything she had endured, every second of training, every test of endurance, and every brutal moment chained to that anchor. She paddled toward the wreckage of the vessel, muscles screaming, lungs still gasping from the near drowning, yet her mind remained razor sharp. Every motion, every stroke was deliberate. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was reclaiming control. The camera would linger on the chaos around her, lightning flashing across the deck, men scrambling, shouting, and slipping on the wet wood. Their arrogance and confidence dissolved into fear. By now, her captors had realized they were no longer in control. The Marine they had underestimated had transformed the battle. With chains gone and the anchor sunk into the abyss below, she rose above the water, her eyes scanning the deck for the man who had orchestrated this trap. Every Marine carries an unspoken code. Protect yourself, complete the mission, and survive to fight another day. She was living that code in its rawest form. Her movements were measured, her gaze unwavering, and every instinct screamed authority over the chaos above. The leader of the crew finally met her eyes, and for the first time she saw the shock and disbelief mirrored in his expression. He had planned a simple execution, a moment of terror that would vanish into the depths. He had not prepared for a Marine who could breathe under pressure, think underwater, and turn the ocean itself into an ally. She took a slow, controlled breath, letting the storm mask her approach, and climbed onto the deck with deliberate strength. Chains no longer holding her, but every inch of her resolve guiding her movements. The camera would move with her, capturing the wet, defiant power of a woman who had faced death and refused to surrender. Her first step onto the deck sent a ripple of panic through the remaining men. Their confidence, once solid as steel, crumbled instantly. She didn't shout, she didn't rage, she simply moved with precision, letting her presence, her undeniable courage, speak louder than words ever could. Every Marine learns that leadership isn't about force alone. It's about timing, discipline, and the ability to inspire, in this case, to command fear in those who oppose you. The crew froze, realizing that the girl they had chained to the ocean's weight was no ordinary soldier. She was a force of nature, and their underestimation had sealed their fate. In the chaos, she secured the weapons, checked the remaining threats, and asserted control over the situation. It wasn't vengeance she sought, it was survival and accountability. They had tried to end her life, and she had turned the impossible into triumph. One by one, the men were disarmed, their arrogance dissolved in the face of a Marine who had not only survived, but had mastered every element stacked against her. The camera lingered on the faces of those who had plotted her demise, capturing the mixture of fear, disbelief, and respect that now replaced their earlier bravado. Finally, she stood alone on the deck, water dripping from her hair, muscles still trembling, and the storm beginning to relent. The wind had torn away the last remnants of their threat, leaving only the sound of waves and her own steady breaths. In that moment, she allowed herself a brief exhale, a fleeting acknowledgement of the magnitude of what she had accomplished. Every chain broken, every stroke against the current, every calculated move beneath the waves had led to this survival triumph, and the quiet but undeniable assertion that Marines endure, adapt, and overcome even when faced with death itself. As the camera pulls back, the storm-tossed ocean stretches endlessly behind her, a testament to the impossible circumstances she had conquered. She is battered, but unbroken.